Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Age of Empires 4 replay. Small on top left side as the orange Japanese, we have a foreign name. Small on bottom right side as the, what am I thinking, light blue Chinese. Why did I think I had trouble saying light blue? We have what the WTF Insane Micro. Because of map generation, something I noticed immediately is science woods all spawned behind him, so he has no cover in front of him, which could pose a bit of a problem. Deer deposits up front, same with oranges. Orange at least has some natural cover here with these two forest deposits. But over here on this other side of the forest, we got the two large gold deposits, Pumbaa, and some various resources up here. So orange, if he expands down south, he will have a significant portion of the map's gold. He has two somewhat close deposits of gold near him as well. Over here, not actually a whole lot. That's a bit busy over here, but nothing too significant. Science has two small gold deposits behind those backline trees, so they're relatively safe there. But it feels like orange is better map generation overall. We have the Imperial Academy now being established by the Chinese player. It goes straight for Song Dynasty to get the faster village production going. Pure storehouse in return. Not enough room there, so it will not generate farms here. Looks like we found the black sheep of the family. Let's see, the Chinese players clean up wood, gold, food, nothing too crazy there at the moment. Looks like he's maybe not going for Song Dynasty. Village there. Barracks here, and still Dark Age. Maybe I'm for some samurai. I, of course, have access to 3 different industries in feudal age. Looks got some Oni Bugishas now being employed in the field. Zunchnus will be a good counter. Chinese archers can actually be deployed. China still has access to archers. Offer a bit more bonus damage. A large number of Oni Bugishas now being employed in the field. Marking number sheeple there, going for barracks, stable, scouts. Is he going for the has research professional scouts? Sorry, I missed that part. But only Bushas did not miss it. Villagers need to avoid the angry ladies. Hand cannon in placement. Does get a shot there. More farms being established, might as well task some villagers onto it. It provides the same income as sheep, so you should really just immediately go onto those farms there to preserve your sheep as long as you can. Looks like more venison being obtained from his opponent's deposit. 6 deer there, so that's the only deer that has been claimed at the moment. And it's going to be heading down south for this deer deposit for now. Chinese archers being established. You do need Song Dynasty to get out of Zunchnu, which he has not gotten Song Dynasty yet. Horseman heading down south, going to right around here. Imperial examinations now been finalized. Nope, horseman and scout engaging the scout. Got a single spearman there, running with the exotic doggo. Another bite there from the wolf onto the horse. Got a round of Oni Bugashas there. Archers and spearmen. Does get one of the Oni Bugashas there. Spearman gets a scout a couple times. The wolves are still roaming around. This time biting the spearman. He wants the stick. Throw him the stick. Horseman or the scout does drop the piece of venison and will be trying to run away. And also the spearman is trying to run away as well. Got some of these units up here. Up north, we got the horseman engaging this villager. Up north, horsemen getting sliced apart by the Oni Bugashas. And last of the venison here. We got this scout. Oops, something. Imperial Palace not being established by the Chinese player and not the astronomical clock tower. So this is age 3. Chinese players going for age 3. Maybe we'll grab some relics early on, but his opponent has better map control at the moment. 2 relics over here. This one's pretty far away for Cyan. This one's can be claimed by either player, and this one's very safe for Cyan. The Imperial Palace at least acts as a lighthouse, if we can switch over to him. Additionally, it does see through all the shrubbery, I believe. I believe it does reveal that. So yeah, a very nice lighthouse. That's the real advantage of the Imperial Palace. I'm going to sneeze. My apologies. And you can see now he knows all the location of the villagers. Or maybe he just used it. Archers and single spearmen push forward. Floating gate now being established by the Japanese player. Still 6 deer there he could obtain. This deer deposit is still untouched as well, so Cyan could claim some of his opponent's deer soon. They're gonna have Oni Bugashas. Zunchnu's, oh no, he still doesn't have access to Zunchnu's. Archers can still be very useful against that. Does eat a bit of volley there. We do have the Daimyo Manor now being established. Multiple Lancers now being established. +1 range armor for the Chinese player. Burning down some of these farmhouses. We do have the Daimyo Manor Corps support in the field. Has a second arrow and more health. A couple outposts going on up. This one's being upgraded. Spring Gold, not fortified. Lancers engaging the horsemen. We do have a bannerman. Deflection does eat a hit there. Oni Bugashas rotating down. Engaging. Right now they're at 8 damage. The Lancers need more melee armor against them. 1 more melee armor, more precisely. Actually, they only have 4 armor at the moment, so they're getting sliced up pretty well. If they get both their melee armor, they're able to go from 4 damage to 2 damage, efficient damage resistance. Cyan's army does get cleaned up there. Orange is a higher destroyed value than Cyan. And it looks like Cyan's obtained the rest of the deer there. Imperial Palace can now be utilized again. Imperial House could be very nice to help us spot where the workers are so we can raid them with the Lancers. One mounted samurai there with a banner man. Lancers going straight for those workers. He probably activated the Imperial Palace there since we got the attack order before he had vision of it normally, the charge attack. Kills off some villagers there, very nice. Right now signs at 49 villagers versus 40. Bannerman does go down. Some more Lancers here, but got 4 healthy samurai, which will defeat the 3 Lancers here that are well wounded. The 5th, if the regroups of 5 Lancers, in this case there's going to be 4 Lancers, he may be able to win the fight. Right now, none of those Lancers are quite wounded. With the 6th Lancer here, he will be able to win the fight. Deflection does absorb some of those hits there, particularly the charge attack. More venison being obtained by the scouts. The not so abandoned outpost there has been captured by Cyan. Cyan's picked up another relic there. Various research course being researched. Got some spearmen now being deployed by the Chinese player to counter the mounted samurai. Not a bad idea. And he may be able to follow the wolf biting him in order to spot. Goes for a Wolo. Oh, almost got that guy back on in, but he didn't. Lancers rotating around. Good number of these guys are quite wounded. A monk would be very nice to get them healed on up. Barbican and the Sun now being deployed on the field, which will give him Song Dynasty, improving his villager production rate. Also give him access to granaries is maybe the one reason why he's also trying to get the Song Dynasty going. He is eating berries. Those all the venison have been eaten. Lancer does get spotted. Villagers have obtained all those berries. Cyan does not have enough wood for farms either. He has got one grain in the field, but right now he's need to transition his economy to farms, and he has no wood for it. 18 villagers on food, so he has some villagers collecting up some food. Maybe some pieces of venison. Though I'm not exactly sure where. Oh, looks like Pumbaa's some of it. Spearman gains good damage there. We do have now these guys rotating around. Got a good number of villagers here, as well as some only Bugashas, up to 10 damage. So even will punch the armor of the Lancers quite nicely. At least 4 damage. Right now, yep, would be 4 damage. Against all the only Bugashas, archers and Zunchus would be nice. The abandoned outpost has been abandoned no longer. Science still moving this force around, of course trying to avoid all the additional damage. Both those Lancers or Mounted Samurai are full health. Lancers are not. Good number of only Bugashas in this region as well, trying to pursue these Spearmen. Lancers and the Scout is here. The Orange force is much faster, it will connect. Just probably need to connect with only Bugashas, not with the Knights or the Lancers. Or the Mounted Samurai, blah. Because Spearmen, of course, be a good counter that. Orange goes for survival techniques. Palace Guard would not be a good counter to the Oni Bugashas, since Palace Guards do have one less armor than normal man at arms. And Oni Bugashas actually move faster than them as well. Numbers have very high attack speed. Yeah, Palace Guard's going to be the wrong choice unless you're trying to go to Yuan Dynasty and start running around villagers with them. Orange pushes forward with a sizable force. We do have one nest of bees on the build queue. Science force trying to fall back. Doesn't look great for Sai at the moment, but I think he has enough force to stop his opponent from advancing. Spear needs to hit those men samurai. Oni Bugashas is going to pose a big problem to his army. Does get a bit of damage there. Looks like Orange will be forced to fall back. Orange, I think, overall won the fight, has much higher destroyed value. Of course, couldn't finish off his opponent. Big line of outposts here. These gold deposits, let's just scout there. These gold deposits have not been touched, but they are very close by to each other. This one's not in Sphere of Influence, but its handful of walls will clean that up. More granaries have been established. Good amount of damage on those units. Bit of damage there. One single side catch up by Orange. Nice splash damage there from the nest of bees. Mounted Samurai does find the Lancers. You now have the Daimyo Palace being queued on up by the Japanese player, also increasing his food income around it. "41 Onobugashas there. He's right now. Japanese has 43 of them on the field. With a good number of mounted samurai. Going for had a couple samurai queued on up. Cancels them. Maybe misclicked and meant for the katana bannerman, but just got to put on the field. So I'm not sure what's going on there. A couple spring golem placements for the Chinese player. Bardock Sun will be a good spot for a spring golem placement. Looks like Sion will abandon the outpost. Both players are not close to aging up. Sign does have more villagers at the moment. Oh, looks like Onabusha's engaging the Lancers. That's probably the best case scenario for the Lancers, barring the lack of charge attack. But there's a lot of them there. They have, of course, their 6 melee armor. And do have Bannerman nearby now. It's boosting up the damage to, it says 12. It's a higher end of 11. There is decimal points in this game. By the way, that's going to be really going to make it hurt those Lancers, those only Bugushas. If you're really thinking these Zunchus or Spring Golds at this point. Nesabi is straightforward. Orange have obtained all those sacred sites there. Be a slow countdown in favor of Orange. Voice is starting to go out. Castle of the Crow now being established, which is the rare of the 2 later landmarks. Get some good income over here and got a safe spot for income here. It is going to be next to this gold deposit, which also project towards this gold deposit. Of course, Japanese player can't build any keeps, have to build castles, which they're not available in Castle Age. Who would have thunk? Not sure why castles can't not be built in Castle Age. Yeah, there's better than regular keeps, but still, it's Castle Age. let Japanese build castles in Castle Age. You of course have the elite samurai or elite onobugushas, elite mounted samurai, and level 4 melee damage. Yakiari, or however you pronounce that. I have trouble pronouncing foreign. Chinese player has enough reason to agent up. Yep, that's what I'm expecting. The Great Gatehouse now being established. It's a very fine gatehouse indeed. Though Temple of Sun wouldn't be half bad either. Oh no, it's be Spirit Way, wrong Chinese faction. But he doesn't have too many dynasty units for the Spirit Way. Nesabi's get a pretty good volley there. Once the Great Gatehouse gets established, they have an excellent defensive emplacement. There's the twin emplacements there. Nails the horseman, nails up here. Nesabi's is still doing quite nicely. Does lose one of them. Sign will win out. I believe there's quite a bit of splash damage Sign got there. Short of Valor to equalized out. Yuan Dynasty could be nice, but the higher movement speed is nice, but nothing critical. You could go for Ming Dynasty, which I forget it does increase damage for health. I always get the Ming Dynasties mixed up between the two, Juzi's Legacy and the Chinese. The outpost does get torched down. The abandoned outpost is currently not abandoned. We do now have the Do Maru armor. Increases mounted samurai move speed by 10% while deflection is active. Effectively means when out of combat, they just simply move better. In combat, not likely, since deflection can easily be stripped. and do its job. I should also mention to add. Can't speak right now. Put up some stone there, building a keep next to this gold deposit. Castle of Crow, let's see. May have gone for the shorter path. I don't see the longer one, but then again, it's a very long timer. It's like, was it 5 or 6 minutes? In other words, very long time. I sort of think that it provides too many resources for the size of the model. I think the countdown timer should be reduced down to 60 seconds, but then of course the value should be reduced by the equal amount of quicker. It'd be a little bit more consistent rather than one-time shipment on a tiny little thing. Because at maximum range, I think could provide like 4,000 resources. Astronomical clock tower, so he's going for Ming Dynasty. Also got some healthier siege weapons. Not Ming Dynasty, Yuan Dynasty. Increase the movement speed of all of his units by, what, 10 or 15%, I forget. Elite army tactics now being researched. Yuan Dynasty now has been enabled. Yep, now the Lancers move at the same speed as Horsemen, almost. 15%. And at least Spearmen will be able to keep up the Oni Bugashas a little bit better as well. Biology not being researched by the Chinese player. Got a secondary daimyo manor being established. He has his shogunate castle here. Bombarding the Castle of Crow. There's a treasure caravan currently carrying 600, so 2,000 resources. But the Castle of Crow will be destroyed, and don't think the treasure caravan can drop off its resources if it's destroyed. I'm not sure what exactly happened. Would surprise me if it does still deposit it. But the Castle of Crow has gone down. You know they say about Crow, eat it while it's young and tender. If it gets old, it becomes tough and unpalatable, something of that sort. Oh, good number of these units getting ripped apart by the Great Gatehouse. Treasure caravan there looks like it will be intercepted. Chinese players going for a good number of spearmen and lancers, says once again. As biology, does he have elite army tactics? Yes, he does. Oni Bugashas do not have elite army tactics, or should I say Odo tactics. We do now have power tactics being researched by the Chinese player. Now, I can never really tell what's hand cannons are better, the Schultzy or the Power Technic Chinese, because Power Technic Chinese, of course, give you really nice range. For Schultzy, you get for 25% discount, which is generally very useful as well. The Chinese player has enough resources to go to the Ming Dynasty as well, which could give him Grenadiers. Grenadiers could be nice against the Oni Bugashas. Though they're such a rare asset, I never really know about them. Villagers trying to go for this gold deposit, but we've got a spring gold emplacement here. Lancer moving forward there. These lances are quite damaged. Lance is being picked off by these mounted samurai. Got more spearmans being blown on the field by the Chinese player. Good bit of damage there from the nest of bees. Castle Crow has not been fully repaired, so it's not defending itself. We do now have the ancient techniques being researched, which will give them what, plus 12% collection rate. Oh, they buffed it, so now it's plus 5% rather than plus 4%. So now it's plus 15, but the mean density will be up plus 20%. Reloading drills? Nope, that got cancelled. Got a castle here. Last gold deposit being obtained. This gold deposit has 700 gold left. Probably a good idea still to grab it. Nice little spear brace there. Hand cannoneer is now being deployed by the Chinese player. Nest of Bees get a pretty good volley there into that formation. They may be anti-range, but the Nest of Bees a bit more generalist compared to Mangonels. Onibusha's got ripped apart. Still some orange, not orange, gold left on Cyan's side of the map. You got this 4,000, this 4,000 here. So Cyan still has plenty of gold inside the map to utilize. Orange, of course, on this last 4,000, of course, has the 700 left. 751. Orange sort of fall back now. You have now serpent gunpowder for the Chinese Cannoneers. Very nice. Which will help them fight against Onibugashas. And increased moon speed's not half bad either. We do now have elite fire lancers. When you go to units, you get access to fire lancers. It's been a long time since the last seen fire lancers. This could be quite fun. You got a single Dark Age samurai on the map. Castle Crow trying to be repaired on up. Villagers here have obtained the stone deposit. Fire Lancers, of course, have the same move speed as heavy cavalry, not as horsemen. So they will get benefit from Ming Dynasty there. We do also have now the siege engineers being researched, as well as court architects. Those are going to torch down the castle the good old-fashioned way. With fire. That's how you torch a castle. Looks like Orange want to obtain this castle or keep now. Gold attack does increase the damage of the torches. 24 damage as opposed to 21. No Fire Lance exploit build, while he does have the Elite Fire Lancer research. There's spearmen everywhere. Castle Crow has been repaired. Treasure caravans need to be tasked here because this one's not going to be safe at the moment. Science has a good number of spearmen, which are inferior to the Onibugashas, and the Onibugashas are fully upgraded. doing 16 damage and something extra per attack, which is quite high. Spearman will not last very long to them, versus them. But the Nested Bees getting some great damage here. Got a good number of Chinese hand cannoneers. I think Serpent Gunpowder get +5 and non-matched move speeds per after attacking. They actually do outspeed only Bugushaws when they're moving. Of course, they still need to stand and fire. It looks like Science Force will be cleaned on up. Spearmen, like I said, were not a counter to only Bugushaws. It was the opposite. More hand cannoneers on the build queue. No Ming Dynasty. I think the increased move speed is probably a good idea for the time frame against the only Bugushaws. Of course, can get on top of stone walls, get the improved fighting capabilities up there, both from just being on top of walls and from the fact that it's a great gatehouse. Great gatehouse improves the damage, gives them plus 25% damage on top of walls. Orange start to fall back now. Scout is here. Keep is going on up. There's also gold deposit from the Tang. Still feels like this game's going quite well with the Chinese player. The Japanese player is out of gold, has some wood to work with, and plenty of food as well. So it feels like Chinese players in a very good position right now. Has plenty of wood, gold, and food in the store. Going for Elite Palace Guard now. Against only Bugushaw, I don't think that's a great idea. Orange Taco buying for some regular trade caravans. With this one here, looks like a castle here that can easily be torched down. Sign has an arm nearby, just doesn't have vision in this area. But again, that sacred site, nope. May see the stamper action. Not sure if you will realize what that means though. Plus, I don't know in the replay what would be visible, or in the live game compare what's visible in the replay. Maybe that's the part is not visible. Damage plays going for a healthy number of horsemen. Needs a veteran horseman, let alone elite horseman. Not enough gold for either of those. Treasure caravans in 45 seconds. We now have the lightweight beams being used for the Chinese player. Has a healthy number of palace guards, spearmen, and hand cannoneers on the build queue. And one clock tower nest of bees, clock tower bombards. Still just a regular horseman. Castle here will go down. Stick aside here, being decaptured. Does spot the markets. Doesn't look like any traders will be going down though. Palace Guard right now have 20 damage, 7 armor. So these elite only Bugushaws will do right now with the bannerman nearby 9 damage and then some. So no veteran horseman research. He does have some Yorshiros inside these forges, so I missed that aspect. Sign in return does have 4 relics and currently 2 sacred sites. Sign now has an army of value of 17,000 versus 13,000. Has quite a value advantage, primarily in the hand cannon mirrors. Sign has a massive queue of reinforcements, with Ming Dynasty will help him close the distance, or Yuan Dynasty rather than Ming Dynasty. Of course, the army will just generally do much better with Ming Dynasty. And Canadians firing away safe in the back line. Orange's front line just getting crushed. Doesn't look good for Orange. Yeah, Orange is still using dark or feudal age horsemen. Only Bouchard's trying to flank around, but the hand cannoneers, they love to shoot anything that gets in the range. Orange's arms just being cleaned on up. And without any gold, and even out of wood, it doesn't look good for the Japanese player. 600 gold per minute, 600 wood per minute. Versus 2,000 of everything. Yeah, I think the Japanese player is going to get crushed. The Chinese players, yep, that's the end of the game. Let's say I grade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.